Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Phoenix Raceway, where tonight the stars and cars of the Carolina SimWorks TNT PM-18 All-Oval Series will take to this 1 mile oval. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you joining us this evening. Looking forward to a pretty spectacular race here. A little bit shallower in terms of total grid count here, but definitely going to be a fun race for sure. Tell you a little bit about the racetrack here as we're just getting qualifications wrapped up. Phoenix Raceway is located in Avondale, Arizona. It's 1 mile in length. Corners banked from 9 to 11 degrees. Place opened first in 1964, the home of open wheel racing in the Southwest. This is championship round number 6. It will be a 50-minute race this evening. Cautions are controlled by the iRacing service. Restarts are single file. Lap cars head to the back of the field. Here's the big one for this evening. The fuel window is anywhere from 45 to 50 laps. Tire sets are unlimited and tire wear is limited. So tires shouldn't be an issue here, but no backup cars, and you're going to lose at least 1 lap under green if that's when you are forced to make your pit stops. Qualifications will be wrapping up here shortly. We'll get you the results as soon as the field has completed their qualification runs. Got to say a huge thank you to Carolina SimWorks for being the presenting sponsor of the TNT PM-18 All-Oval Series. Check them out online at carolinasimworks.com. Take a look here. Some of the cars getting ready to come out on to the racetrack here. Let's show you the starting lineup for tonight's race. Jason Owens will be your pole sitter with an identical time on the front row. Robert Gamble out of the Northwest. Kevin Smalley and Simon Fell will make up row number 2. James Curtis, Mike Gosler in row number 3. Mike Barry and Wes Shire in row 4. How about less than a tenth of a second separating your top 7? And then a full quarter of a second separating 7th and 8th place on the grid. Matt Kalida and Ben Carswell will make up row number 5. Row number 6 is going to have James Watson and Rick Cleary. All alone in row number 7 will be Texan Jake Guerreri. So only 13 cars on the grid here this evening, but definitely not going to be short on action, that is for sure. Field just finishing up the gridding process here, and we're going to begin to roll off on the pace lap. Absolutely beautiful look at Rattlesnake Hill. They're in turn number 3 and 4, one of the coolest places you could imagine to see a race here. Don't be surprised to see some drivers getting into fuel saving as early as the pace laps tonight. This is where it's going to be very, very interesting to keep your eye on things, as based on what our numbers, what we're seeing in terms of the pit strategy, the window could open as early as lap number 23. The anticipated window is 45 to 50 laps, but with the smaller car count, basically what you're looking at here is the potential for a green flag race all the way through. This one is going to be very, very interesting to follow. identically matched times on the front row with Jason Owens and Robert Gamble. Field almost 3 wide here. Owens bringing them down very slow down the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air. We're underway here at Phoenix. Good battle back in the pack here as Owens starts to check out just a little bit. 3, how about almost 4 wide through the dog leg down the back straightaway. Still 3 wide into turn number 3. Fresh tires are tricky, testy. West Shire called them a whole lot of fun during the practice session. We'll see how that plays out over the course of the evening here. Robert Gamble down 3 spots here in the early going. Jason Owens checking out for the early lead, a 0.6 of a second over Kevin Smalley. 1 minute of 50 in the books here. Mike Barry back there in the 3rd position. He's going to have the Hornet's Nest starting to form up behind him here. As James Curtis, Robert Gamble, West Shire, Simon Fell all going to battle for position. We would fully expect to see this kind of battling continue throughout the course of the race. Mike Barry just set the quickest lap of the race at a 25.56 seconds. We'll see that number tick down little by little here as the field gets ramped up. Robert Gamble to the inside. Simon Fell working to the outside. Fell, that multicolored machine. Almost contact off at turn number 4. Mike Gosler now going to look to the inside of Gamble down the front straightaway. Fastest lap getting traded around the horn here is now 4th place James Curtis. Goes quick time, 25.4 seconds. Taking a look at the point standings here. Jason Owens going to be your point leader heading into tonight. 314 markers. 7 starts, 3 wins. Every finish inside the top 5. West Shire currently second in points, 270, so a fair distance back. 2 wins, 5.56 top 10s. Kevin Smalley, James Curtis, and James Watson will complete the top 5. 1 car going around. Caution flag is out. Trouble on the racetrack for Mike Barry off of turn number 4, and that will bring out the first Carolina SimWorks caution flag of the evening. Here's the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Keep your eye on that number 64 Target livery. This steps out a little bit on quarter exit. Quick loop. A little bit of contact with the outside retaining wall. Doesn't look like the car's damaged too badly. Unfortunately for Mike Barry, he does have to take the tow into the pit area. Not the way he wanted to start his race here this evening. As we'll see the race leaders come around. A little bit too early to see pit stops here. You can make it if you stop at lap number 23. That is kind of where the window's going to open. However, it does force you into then 2 48-lap stints. So you would be looking at a second pit stop right about lap number 71. We're anticipating anywhere from 115 to 120 laps being the total number that get run this evening. Stop on lap 45 is going to make you good all the way out to lap number 94. So you're still going to have to make that second stop. Where it becomes interesting a little bit is now where that second stop falls in line. You really could make it about 20 laps before you need to, in all reality. So my guess is we're going to see most of these drivers try to stretch the fuel run as long as possible here, especially with the limited field. With no wave arounds, Mike Barry's going to have a tough time getting that car back up to the front of the field, but we're already getting set to go back to green flag racing, looking down from the top of Rattlesnake Hill in turn number 4. Pace car is in. Jason Owens grabs the throttle. He'll be your leader on the single file restart. Everybody going to fall in line down to the inside of the racetrack. First battle we're starting to see form up. Once again, Robert Gamble, Mike Gosler going to do battle down the back straightaway. Gamble up on the outside of the racetrack. Good run for series rookie Ben Carswell. He's up 3 spots coming around Mike Gosler on the outside. Gosler going to fight back through 3 and 4. Tight racing off the corner. Carswell almost gets it up into the outside retaining wall. But Ben Carswell up to the 7th position. Keep your eye on NationalRacingNetwork.com as Ben Carswell coming on staff as our chief IndyCar correspondent. Already a little bit of Ben's content up there on the website, and plenty more to come as the rest of the 2021 season rolls on. Looking towards the front, Jason Owens has a lead of 0.4 of a second over Kevin Smalley, James Curtis, Wes Shire. All 3 of those cars separated by less than a half second as they go off the turn 4 down the front straightaway. Lap 14, 7.5 minutes on the board. Maybe seeing a little bit of a connection issue for Mac Galida. He seems to be kind of popping in and out of our screens. Kevin Smalley set the quickest lap of the race last time by 25:31 on the stopwatch for the pilot of the 47. Now Simon Fell sets quick lap of the race, 25.3 seconds. Jason Owens last time by 25:46. Everybody else inside the top 5 in the 25 threes. In fact, low 25 threes. Maybe a little bit of conservation going on here out of Jason Owens. This good fight continuing for second, third, and fourth. This good fight continues at the front of the field. Looking a little bit further back here as well, we've got Robert Gamble, Ben Carswell, Mike Gosler all fighting for position. James Curtis coming around Kevin Smalley in turn 1. He'll pick up that position. Wes Shire now going to look to the outside of Smalley through 3 and 4. Shire takes a peek to the inside. Show himself in the mirrors. James Curtis just went quickest lap. Kevin Smalley tops it. Actually, Wes Shire tied him on time here to the 100th of a second. Kevin Smalley, 25.25 seconds. Jason Owens right there as well. Shire going to look to the outside of Smalley through 3 and 4. Plenty of muscle to get the pass completed that time. Move Wes Shire up to P3 in the Homestead Coffee Roasters number 16. Smalley going to fall back through the 4th position. Already almost 11 minutes into this 50-lap race. Trouble on the racetrack for Ben Carswell. Tough break for Ben. Get you a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Oh, he got up into the outside retaining wall. May have had a little bit of help getting up there. Let's take a look here and follow this battle here with Mike Gosler. Gosler going to look to the inside in 1 and 2. Yeah, a little bit of contact as they slide up the racetrack. That's going to put Carswell up into the outside fence. We have one of our in-car cameras in operation tonight. Riding on board with Jason Owens. There's a look at the pilot of the Extra Life Riley Children's Foundation, number 87. You can see Jason checking the mirrors, looking to see where James Curtis is. He's coming up to your outside. Battle for the race lead heating up. Curtis going to look to the inside. Owens has to run the outside lane. Shire going to go with Owens to the outside. That little bit of drafting help may have been all that Jason needed to get ahead of James Curtis down the back straightaway. With the field having seen one caution flag to this point, it doesn't change much in the way of the fuel calculations to reach the end. We'll shrink the lap count by just a couple, but not enough to make a difference just yet. However, a second caution flag will change the math in a very, very big way. However, you're going to have to make it past the halfway point of the race before your first pit stop. And quite frankly, I don't necessarily think that was going to happen here this evening. Mike Barry being scored as the first car out of the race. He will finish tonight in the 13th position. Ben Carswell on pit lane, still taking the tow in and the necessary repairs. Curtis comes around Jason Owens. Wes Shire going to join the party here. Shire going to move to the front. We've now got a 4-car battle for the race lead. Smalley crosses under. Owens off at turn number 1. He'll be able to shortcut the dogleg just a little bit. This is the legacy version of Phoenix Raceway, which does not allow you to make the full cut of the dogleg. Still a whole lot of grass on the inside of that corner. About 15 or so laps away from our first scheduled round of pit stops. Wes Shire catching up on the rear wing of James Curtis as they head down the back straightaway. A lot of the drivers were talking about having some pretty significant issues finding the grip in this racetrack. Basically having to kind of learn entirely new ways to get around the racetrack. Simon Fell coming around Jason Owens. That's going to drop the 87 machine back to the 5th position. I wonder if the strategy call might be starting to play itself out a little bit here for Jason Owens. Everybody else running lap times in the mid to low 25-second range. Jason Owens clocking in at a 26:15. Would have to be a pretty epic fuel-saving run. Basically tuck into the draft and stay there as long as you possibly can. We haven't gotten to do one of these yet tonight here. How about we get me to be quiet and all you race fans can crank it up? Lap number 37 goes up on the scoreboard. James Curtis still your race leader over Wes Shire. Shire, one of the masters of fuel saving, just staying tucked very nice and neatly in behind the rear wing of the 88 Serge Cola entry of James Curtis. Kevin Smalley, Simon Fell, Jason Owens all kind of holding in line as well. Take a look back in the pack here. This is going to be the fight for the 9th position. Jake Guerreri and Rick Cleary starting to go at it just a little bit. Matt Galida not too far behind either. Galida looks like he might have a little bit of a handful there. That all-white number 5 machine. Sliding back to pick up the fight between Simon Fell and Jason Owens. Both of these drivers now starting to tail back of the race leaders. And our buddy Bill Walker, one of the regular competitors in the series, telling us stuck working tonight. That's no fun. Hope you're enjoying the show here, Bill. Working lap number 40. The pit window is going to open up here in pretty short order. One part of the strategy call that does come into play here is the longer you can make the first stop go, or go until you need your first stop anyway, the shorter your second stop could theoretically be. Even saving just a couple of tenths in terms of filling the car full of fuel for that late fuel run. Will definitely be interesting to see here. And one other thing to keep an eye on, James Watson making a stop at lap number 7, as did Rick Cleary. So Watson's going to be able to go a little bit further than the rest of the field. We are approaching 20 minutes in the books. Another 5 minutes and we'll say roughly 20 laps, about 15 or so, will get us to the halfway point of tonight's race. Lap count is irrelevant. This is a 50-minute timed event this evening. Coming up next week for the TNT PM-18 All-Oval Series presented by Carolina Simworks, we're going to head off to Richmond Raceway. A night race. Coming up, another of the 50-minute showdowns. We'll follow that up with a visit to the Nashville Fairgrounds and Bristol Motor Speedway. We head to America's Heartland just after the 4th of July and the series' second visit of the season to the Iowa Speedway. Slide back here. This is a pretty good fight between Jake Guerreri, Rick Cleary, and Mac Galida. They're all nose to tail, separated by a couple of tenths. Decent battle at the front of the field. Pretty good battle here towards the back of the pack. The mid part of the field from Jason Owens back through James Watson, positions 5 through 8, all separated by at least 1 second from each other. So kind of interesting to see how that is going to shake out here. Is somebody on a crazy fuel save run? Lap number 48 on the board now. James Curtis with a 1.5 second lead over West Shire. Everybody stays out on the racetrack. Shire does have a little bit of company here back behind him in the form of Kevin Smalley, Simon Fell, and Jason Owens, but definitely looks to me like we're in pretty heavy fuel save mode at this point. The other kind of interesting part of this is if they get to the 25-minute mark without needing a pit stop, now you're talking about the potential for a one-stop race. I don't think we're going to quite get there. We will not. James Curtis, West Shire, Simon Fell, all making their way down pit road. As is Robert Gamble in the 54. We'll keep our eye here on James Curtis. He was your race leader. Shire going to follow him onto the pit lane as well. Curtis hits the marks cleanly. Simon Fell slides into his box just ahead of Curtis. 88 machine down and away. 8.02 seconds. Time of the stop for James Curtis. Without yellow, he's going to need some help. Kevin Smalley now making his way down the pit road for his first stop of the evening. Jason Owens in the pit lane this time by here on lap number 52. 24 minutes just shy of making it. We've got a new race leader at the front of the field. James Watson stopped on lap number 7. Trying to take a look and see who's going to be around him here. That's going to be 10th place Robert Gamble, just ahead of the race leader. Everybody has now made their first pit stops. Let's show you the pit stop laps here to give you an idea of what the strategy calls are in play. All of the race leaders that we saw at the front of the field early on stopping between lap 50 and lap number 52. James Watson and Rick Cleary stopping at lap number 7. We're going to have a little bit more fuel to go here. Here's where the strategy call comes into play, however. Watson will be able to make it on one more stop, the same as everybody else. He's hoping to cycle back through to the race lead. He'll have to make a full fuel stop with his next stop. Everybody else is going to be able to almost short fill the race car. That's the key word there, is almost. It will require fuel saving. Caution is up. Caution on the speedway. Trouble for Mac Galida. That is not the caution flag that James Watson wanted to see, as we see Mac Galida grabbing his way into the pit area. Let's get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Show you what happened to McKenzie. Down the back straightaway. Just a lazy little self-spin. Hard impact with the outside safer barrier. Tough break for McKenzie as he's going to head back to his pit stall. I would imagine we're going to see James Watson and Rick Cleary make their pit stops here. Here is James Watson making his way down the pit road. 4 fresh Cooper tires. I believe it's VP Racing fuels used in the Road to Indy program. Either VP or Speedway fuels. I don't remember which one. Kind of interesting here. Some little bit of strategy call going on here now. James Curtis, Wes Shire, Simon Fell, Robert Campbell, all down the pit road. Curtis able to jump Watson with a 4-second pit stop to top off the tank. Curtis now thinking he can go the rest of the way. See if we can't get a quick word here with James Watson. And James, unfortunately, that was probably not the caution you wanted to see with the strategy it looked like you were trying to make play out.
Oh, no, this is perfect timing. I was about to call out I was coming on the pit road. This was really well timed for me, actually. I'm perfectly fine with it.
I say, now you're in good shape to go the rest of the way on fuel here. We've gotten our second caution flag, and it's right about the 28-minute mark, and that was the number that we were projecting to be kind of that magic window of you can make it the rest of the way. Are you surprised we didn't see Kevin Smalley and Jason Owens down pit road this time?
Not particularly. They're up to something. We were all kind of discussing it, so it's not a surprise at all that they've got something cooking. So it'll be interesting to see how their strategy plays out.
All right, James. Well, good luck the rest of the way here, brother. I think you guys are getting ready to go back to green. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car. Oh, interesting play here. Now Jason Owens going to make his way down pit road. Pull up the in-car camera here, and we'll once he gets in the pit box, we'll grab Jason Owens here. Wes Shire, Simon Fell, Robert Gamble also making their stops. Jason in for a quick splash and go here. We see already getting down and away. Everybody now should be good to go on fuel the rest of the way. We're going to have a big old shootout here for the next 20 minutes or so.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. You must be feeling pretty good here with the smirk that's on your face at the moment.
Yeah, the smirk is because I don't know if pitting there out a second was the big smooth move of the race or not. So we're getting ready to go green, but should be good on fuel with a bit of a fuel save from here.
There you go. There's Jason Owens as we get ready to go back to green. Underway once again. Kevin Smalley going to check out on James Curtis and James Watson. Those two will fight side by side. Smalley going to duck down to the inside now. He's got to be in pretty heavy conservation mode at this point. Maybe left a little high and dry there. Taking a look back in the field, here's Jason Owens looking inside of West Shire into turn number 1. Once again, the lap count kind of now irrelevant. Only because everybody should be good to go on fuel here. As we heard Jason Owens say, maybe a little bit of fuel saving has to go on, but trouble on the racetrack, we'll see. Yes, it does. Brings out a caution flag. Rick Cleary, Simon Fell having an issue. Oh, what a tough break there for Simon Fell. Cleary, a little bit of a self-spin, collects Simon Fell on that one. We'll get you a look from the onboard with Simon Fell. See what he saw here. Yeah, just absolutely nowhere for Simon to go. Unfortunately, he's going to have to take the tow back into the pit area. So some changes here towards the front of the field. James Curtis grabbing the lead from Kevin Smalley. James Watson, Jason Owens, West Shire rounding out the top 5. Robert Gamble, Jake Guerreri rounding out the cars that are on the lead lap. Only 8 remain running at this point. Mike Gosler, 1 lap down, being scored in the 8th position. Simon Fell, Rick Cleary, Matt Galida, all on the pit road, taking repairs on their damaged PM-18 machinery. Ben Carswell, Mike Barry out of the race. They will finish in the 12th and 13th positions. We get a quick word here with race leader James Curtis. James, I would imagine that caution flag now takes you out of fuel save mode, but it's going to put you into a position where you're going to be in a pretty big dogfight here for the next 15 minutes.
I'm feeling really good right now. That last caution really got me into the window, so I think I should be good for the rest of the race. So I think taking that last splash of fuel after the previous caution is going to really pay off for me now.
At this point, you've got Kevin Smalley, James Watson, Jason Owens, and West Shire behind you. 4 of the best in the business here in the Carolina Simworks TNT series. This one's going to be a pretty big fight here as we get ready to go back to green in a lap or so.
Absolutely. But it's all about no mistakes right now. I think as long as I keep the car pointed in the right direction and hit my marks, I've got a great chance to win this one.
There you go, a very confident James Curtis, liking his chances. give you a little bit of a full field rundown here. There is James Curtis driving the Surge Cola machine up 4 spots from the drop of the green flag. Good run so far for the number 88. After having an issue early on in the season that kind of put him a little bit behind here, currently sitting 4th in the point standings. Does have a win, 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, but a very front-loaded grid here. Kevin Smalley running in the 2nd position. Qualified inside of row number 2, currently sitting 3rd in points, but about 50 points back of Jason Owen for the points lead. Running in the 3rd position, your hard charger of the race so far, James Watson, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Watson currently sits 5th in points, a full 108 points back. Points leader Jason Owens. Green flag goes back in the air. We're underway. 36 minutes down of the 50 minutes here in this timed race. Caution probably helped Kevin Smalley in a pretty big way as he's going to go right back on the attack. Here comes Jason Owens looking to the inside of Watson down the front straightaway. A little bit of a push there out of the 39 machine. Up the racetrack in 1 and 2. That's all the door opening that Jason Owens needs. Try to pounce through 3 and 4. Close wheel-to-wheel racing. Wow, big moment for James Watson. Wes Shire going to come around him as well. We'll see here. Maybe not the big smooth move in the race here for Jason Owens. Already back up to the 3rd position. He's about a second back of Kevin Smalley for 2nd. Picking up James Watson and Robert Gamble as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. Watson after the pretty big tank slapper off at turn number 2 a couple of laps ago. Losing spots to both Jason Owens and Wes Shire. Robert Gamble closing in on his rear wing. Look at the inside of Watson through 3 and 4. Gamble almost got the left side tires down onto the apron. That's a good way to get the back end of the car tail happy. Taking a look here at the front, Kevin Smalley pretty content to hold in line behind James Curtis. I wonder if this isn't a little bit of a fuel save going on here for Smalley as he stopped on lap number 51. Everybody else stopping lap 58 or lap 60. Everybody holding in line here fairly tightly. We'll give you one more crank it up here as we're down to just about 10 minutes remaining. The TNT PM-18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina Simworks at Phoenix Raceway. Inside of 10 minutes remaining here at Phoenix, and the action starting to heat up at the front of the field. James Curtis not put a wheel wrong yet this evening. Kevin Smalley holding right in line, about a car length and a half back, inside of a car length as they go into turns 1 and 2. Jason Owens about a second and a half back, may have clipped the front stretch safer barrier. Got a peek of that under the crank it up. He's going to have Wes Shire, James Watson, Robert Gamble all in line. This fight between Gamble and Watson is a good one. Gamble looked to the inside once again through 1 and 2. Watson gives him plenty of space to maneuver down the back straightaway. Three distinct packs opening up here at the front of the field. James Curtis and Kevin Smalley will be the first duo to break away. They are going to battle for the race lead here as we're down to just inside of 8 minutes remaining. Jason Owens and Wes Shire, that's the fight for the third position and the final step on the podium. About a second and a half behind your race leaders. Then we have James Watson and Robert Gamble continuing their festivities, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Nick Ferrari basically running all by himself with Mike Gosler on his rear wing. Gosler, however, is a lap down. Ferrari running in 7th is the final car on the lead lap. This fight between Watson and Gamble's been a good one. Down to 7 minutes remaining. Gamble once again looking to the inside of Watson. Just not enough grip on the bottom side of the racetrack. Watson able to keep the car wound up to the high side. Don't be surprised if we see this become an issue for the cars at the front of the field as well. Smalley not all that far back of the race leader. Catching him's one thing, passing him something entirely different. Pick up this tight battle here once again between Watson and Gamble. Down to 5 minutes and about 10 laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway, or at least in about 30 seconds or so it will be. Drivers still taking off laps in the 25-3 range. Gamble's been working on this pass for the last 15 laps or so. No change to the gaps at the front here. Actually, the only real change we're seeing is Jason Owens pulling away just a little bit from Wes Shire. You wonder if Owens hasn't gone back into attack mode here, now knowing that he's going to be good on fuel. Try to save your tires just a little bit. It may be too little too late, though, as we're down to 4.5 minutes remaining here in round number 6. The Carolina Simworks TNT Series. As a reminder, this is a pretty short week of racing here in terms of the iRacing stuff on the National Racing Network. It's week 13 on iRacing, which means the third quarter development is being released tomorrow morning. But it also means there's no official racing, so no Silver Crown cars last night, no sprint cars tonight. Coming up tomorrow night, another edition of the High Side Hustle with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright. Coming up on Thursday, the Ezra IndyCar Series heads to the streets of Long Beach. You don't want to miss the IR-18s. Taking on one of the most picturesque street circuits you'll ever see. Friday night, we're back with Real World Racing from Linda Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. Saturday, it's the Season 1 finale for the Dallara Extreme Series. You can see that race here at 5 o'clock Eastern Time on NRN. And on Sunday night, the High Slide Cup Series with an absolutely epic all-star race format. Pretty sure it's going to be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. IR-18 Indy cars for the top 12 drivers in the point standings. Everybody else is going to be driving a street stock. So easily 100-plus mile-an-hour closing rates. We'll tell you a little bit more about that as the week goes on, but got 2.5 minutes here. James Curtis opening up the lead almost 3/4 of a second over Kevin Smalley. Smalley just not able to make up any ground on the number 88 Serge Cola machine. Running in the third position, Jason Owens. The Extra Life Riley Children's Foundation, number 87. Good points night for Owens. Hoping to extend his lead, and he'll do so as the second place man in points. Wes Shire runs one spot behind in the fourth position. James Watson and Robert Gamble are continuing this duel that has been going on for the better part of 10 minutes now. An absolutely fantastic fight these two are putting on. Jake Guerreri running in the 7th position as the last car on the lead lap. Mike Gosler, the first car, 1 lap down. Simon Fell also on the racetrack. Rick Cleary just coming pit side. He's multiple laps down as well. Mac Galida, Hank Carswell, and Mike Barry are all out of the race. Inside of 1 minute remaining. If Kevin Smalley's got something for James Curtis, he's going to have to get there in a hurry. Because we should come down to see the white flag this next time by. There it is, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go for James Curtis. The lead a half second over Kevin Smalley. Jason Owens running in the 3rd position. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Off of turn number 4, checkered flag will fly, and James Curtis picks up win number 2 on the season over Kevin Smalley and Jason Owens, your podium finishers. Wes Shire, James Watson, Robert Gamble, Jake Guerreri, the 7 cars on the lead lap. Mike Gosler, Simon Fell, Rick Cleary, Mac Galida, Ben Carswell, and Mike Barry will round out the field this evening. There's a good look at James Curtis. Not a bad smoke show there from the pilot of the 88 Surge Cola machine. Let's get our victory lane interviews rolling here with third place finisher tonight, Jason Owens. And Jason, you called it. You might have won the big smooth move of the race there, coming in for pit service at the last caution flag. Ultimately, I don't think that was really the difference tonight.
No, James was faster than I was. He had the best car out here tonight. He deserved to win. You know, if I hadn't come in there, looking at where I'm at on fuel now, I finished with half a liter. So I had 1 lap in the tank because I was hanging it out there. I don't know if you can tell on the broadcast, but I was giving it everything. And man, great win by James. I didn't have anything for him or Kevin.
Yeah, a pretty good race tonight, and I was a little surprised that we saw 3 or 4 cautions tonight when, with the shorter field, you sometimes expect a sometimes green to checker run. Was that going through your head late that, you know, if we don't get that last caution, in fact, the last caution is really the one that got everybody to the end?
Yeah, if we hadn't gotten that last caution, it was going to be trouble. And even the one before that, it wasn't really a racing deal. I almost lost it on my outlap on cold tires and gathered it up and saved it. And I think that's what got Mac was the cold tires down there in 3-4. That track's tricky when you got hot tires. So, but man, hope it was a good show. Like you said, I think I finished about where I would have if I hadn't come in there. And the extra fuel, I was able to run hard the rest of the way. So great race overall. Congrats to James.
Yeah, very good race for sure. And make sure we get the sponsor plugs in here before we let you go too.
Yeah, big time thanks to Carolina Simworks, Zero Shoes, Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, Extra Life for Kids, and Riley's Children's Hospital here in Indianapolis. So thanks again, Chris. Put on a great show, and go get Kevin.
Yeah, that's going to be the plan here. Jason Owens, we wrap up the interview with him. We'll bring Kevin Smalley into the booth now. And Kevin, you had a pretty good run there. Kind of an interesting strategy of not stopping with the last caution flag with everybody else. How tight were you on fuel?
Oh, I was okay. I especially with that last caution. In fact, I was so good I didn't even check. So sorry, I don't have the data for you, man.
Well, it was a really good run tonight, and ultimately, I don't think anybody was going to be catching James out front one way or the other. That car was very strong all night.
Yeah, it was. We were just talking before I came in here. You know, there was a mistake or two that, you know, you probably saw me get a little bit close, but I didn't want to push the issue too much because I knew that Jason and the others had even fresher tires. So, but we had a nice gap, and I think we were clear of them in the draft. So I didn't want to make a move that would cost James 2 or 3 tenths, and then all of a sudden, boom! Now I'm back in 5th or something like that once the pack catches me. So it was kind of don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I let him go or anything like that, but it was a choose your battle situation.
I say discretion, the better part of valor, many times behind the wheel of a race car. A heck of a run for you tonight.
Yeah.
A very, very good points night for you as well. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah. Thanks for everybody in the league. I mean, gosh, really clean race here today. Really appreciate running with the guys. Thanks to our series sponsors to make sure that we can go out and do this. And thanks for you for broadcasting.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. And now it's time to bring in our race winner tonight, pilot of the number 88 Surge Cola machine, James Curtis. Second win of the season. This one's got to feel pretty darn good. You were dominant out there tonight.
That one felt good. It was, man, that was a stressful race. Kevin was pushing me really hard there on that last stint. I was just having to concentrate and not make any mistakes because if I did, he was going to get me.
Well, one of the things that we were looking at throughout the race was how are the fuel numbers going to play out, who was going to be tight, who wouldn't be, and then that last caution flag came out when we got a chance to talk to you. It really was game on from then, and it was, like you said, hitting your marks clean and not making any mistakes.
Yeah, that last caution was fantastic for me because I was starting to do the math in my head and start trying to figure out if I was going to be able to fuel save enough or if I should just go all out and expect everybody else to have to pit. But yeah, that last caution really made the math simple.
Well, it was a good win for you tonight, a very good points night as well. Congratulations on the win. Who do you want to thank?
Hey, I'd like to thank all the supporters out there watching on the stream and watching on my Twitch stream as well. Thanks for coming out and supporting the race, supporting NRN. And shout out to our sponsor, Carolina SimWorks, for the series. We really appreciate them, and they make some awesome stuff.
Absolutely, they do. Make sure you check them out at carolinasimworks.com. And James, congratulations on the win. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thanks, Chris.
So there you go. A very good night of racing here for the TNT PM-18 All Oval Series presented by Carolina SimWorks. And we got a pretty good show tonight. We're going to have another good one tomorrow night. The High Side Hustle with Burt Wojcik and Adam Rubright. Guest announcement will be coming shortly on that one. Thursday night, the Ezra IndyCar Series invading the streets of Long Beach, California. Those IndyCars are a blast to watch around Long Beach. I can't wait to see the Ezra crew flying around there. Friday night, live racing from Linda's Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. Don't miss all the microsprint racing action with Casey Kreider handling the play-by-play duties. Coming up on Saturday, the season finale of the DXS Series. 3 drivers in contention to win that championship. And then on Sunday, the All-Star race for the High Slide Cup Series. So far, it's been a good week of, well, broadcast excellence, broadcast mediocrity, whatever you want to call it here on the National Racing Network. But got to say a huge thank you to everybody that has tuned in here tonight. For Gratian, Mahala, Magda, everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have you with us this evening. We will talk to you soon. Have a great night.